Checking in with you this Monday morning, August the 24th. It's been a little while, and for good reason. Cheryl and I are still out in the great Pacific Northwest enjoying some much-needed R&R. We've had more rest and relaxation in the last 3 weeks than we've had in the past 3 years. We've had more time together in these 3 weeks than in the last 3 years, and we've really enjoyed that. And we've spent a lot of time thanking God for you, for your friendship, for your kindness, how it has sustained us through a very intense year. It was a very intense but fruitful year ministry-wise, but a very difficult time, especially in the summer with the loss of my dad. And you sustained us, and we're so grateful to God for it. And now we are rested, we are reinvigorated, and we are ready to go. And we start as early as today. In just a few minutes, I'll meet with one of our strategic ministry partners, Pastors Sam and Sherry Benson. Cheryl and I will be together with them. They pastor the Destiny Christian Center out here in Puyallup, Washington, near Seattle. And they have been wonderful friends for over 2 decades, and they have been strategic ministry partners. And the church, Destiny Christian Center, one of the great congregations in the country, has helped us enormously with the ministry in Washington. So we'll be updating one another on ministry business, if you will. Then I fly off this week to San Francisco, where I'll meet with one of our ministry partner couples. We have couples like this around the country who invest in extraordinary ways in our work. And I'll be consulting with them, talking, praying with them. Then I'm praying about an excursion into, believe it or not, the Mojave Desert. And not to take a monastic retreat, you understand, but because the Mojave Desert Cross case before the United States Supreme Court is one of the most important ever. In fact, we have introduced a brief to the Supreme Court. We've filed a brief with the court on this very subject because the Mojave Desert Cross case threatens to purge the landscape of America from any reference to our spiritual heritage as a country, to our public acknowledgement of God. It menaces our religious liberty under the Constitution. So this is a really, really important case, and I want you to watch for information coming from us to you. In fact, you're going to get an email unlike anything we've ever done before. It is really something. So watch for it in your inbox and pass it along when you get it. And then watch our website for information on this. I want to get out to the cross itself. I've been with the people who are involved in this, including the caretaker. Boy, you got to watch that interview. I want our people to put it back up on YouTube so that you can see that. And watch the interview with the very humble couple that takes care of this cross in the middle of the Mojave Desert. And it's really, really important stuff. So watch for that. It's going to be the focus of our fall. I will be there at the Supreme Court when the case is argued. And speaking of the Supreme Court, by the way, of course, it begins its new term each year on the first Monday in October of each year. And the day before that, on the Sunday before, this year happens to be October 4th, we will be represented at a very special church service that the justices, most of the justices, generally attend. It's called the Red Mass. And it's very interesting because this year marks the first time that an overwhelming majority of the Supreme Court are Roman Catholic. That's very interesting for lots of different reasons, but that's just a little sidebar. In any case, I'll also be out ministering in lots of churches come the fall, and I may be in your neighborhood, bringing a very critical message to the people of God for this hour that we're living in. And let me tell you, I wouldn't trade this time for anything. Being a Christian in America, being a Christian, period, anywhere in the world, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's a great time to be serving the Lord, and I'm talking about that, and especially our relationship to government, Christians and government. That's what I've been talking about in the churches. I may be coming to your church or to a church in your neighborhood, or maybe you know somebody who will be nearby, family member, friend, former fellow church member that's moved somewhere else in the country. Watch for the announcements on our website. It's going to be a very busy season, but I'm up for it after this time of refreshment and your prayers and kindness, and of course, your continued generosity to our ministry. And I got to offer this invitation to all my atheist friends in Washington, and I have a few. I want you to come out to the Pacific Northwest with me and spend a little time, as my wife and I did, in the Olympic National Forest in the Olympic Peninsula, right at the northwest corner of the United States, and just spend a night there on the ocean, listening to the sounds of nature, gazing up at the starlit canopy over us. I will tell you that will cure anyone of their atheism. You can't be out here and not appreciate, even worship, the genius of our Creator, the one our founders acknowledged in the Declaration of Independence. There is no question that there is a Creator with a capital C when you come out here to the Great Pacific Northwest. If you haven't seen it, you've got to see it. Hey, I've said enough. I'll begin checking in with you. I have feet on the ground in Washington this week, and I'll be checking in with you regularly again starting next week. So thanks again for everything. God bless. I'll see you next week.